Hey guys, I want to share a story, and some of you may have heard it, but if you're a new director or a director struggling, or a star director or a superstar director struggling, I can guarantee you to at least like 90% that you are struggling with maybe other leaders or your team, or not producing or struggling to hit your numbers because of one simple thing. And it's something that is mindset, but it's something that it was a chat that I had in 2010 in a beach chair with Heidi's mom, Alice Kalalamoku. And um, anyway, here it is. So, my husband and I, we earned our first trip to Hawaii, and it was in 2010, and we were super broke, and we were so proud of ourselves for getting there and pulling ourselves out of, we still weren't anywhere near out of financial straits because we got there, we only had $100, and Scentsy, actually, we didn't know this, but they loaded $300 each to some Visa debit cards. So we had $600. We were feeling awesome. We were like, woohoo, we killing it. And at that point, we'd had 120 people in our downline, and we were directors, and we had another director below us and another director that was promoting. And so we were feeling pretty good. And I'm sitting in under this shade in a chair on the beach on the pool, and all of a sudden I see Alice walking over, and I hadn't met her, and I think at this time I hadn't quite met Heidi and Orville really either, like one on one. And anyway, Alice is coming over, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Alice. I know who that is. And she comes and sits over, and she's with her husband Fred, and they wanted to sit down and share my shade, and I was like, sure. So Alice and I chatted for about hour and a half, 2 hours, and about nothing to do with Scentsy, actually, anything to do with Scentsy. And then, right shortly before she was ready to get up and go for the evening and go change and stuff, she says, so, what level are you at? And I said, director. And she says, oh, you're just a baby. And I was like, if you know my mouth, like, I was like, screw you, Alice. I was like saying all the expletives. I was like, and this is Heidi's mom. And I'm like, but Anyway, in my head, but outwardly, I'm sure my face showed very clearly that I was like, what the hell? Like, that's rude. Like, I'm just a baby. Like, whatever. And she looked at me, and she immediately knew that I was not super happy with that. And she goes, oh, no, honey. What I mean is that just means that you're committed. You just, like, getting to director doesn't mean, that you've arrived. Basically, it just means that, you've shown that you want to do something with your business, and this is just the beginning. And so now when the real work starts. And I was still like, screw you, Alice, in my head, but I was like, oh yeah, no. Anyway, and she had to go, and I left, and I go tell my husband, I'm like, oh my god, can you believe what Alice said? And like, screw her, and like, whatever, we're not babies, we have 120 people in our downline, and blah 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 blah, and just like full of ourselves. And Sean was mad too. He's like, that's rude. Anyway, I was like totally ticked about it all night. And then the next morning I woke up, and I was like, Alice is a freaking genius. Like, I realized that I had been prideful. I was feeling like, I had met other people at this event that were like, that had like 10,000 people in their downline, and I had 120, and I'm feeling all like cocky and stuff. Like, she was right. We were just babies. We were just like, this was our first trip. It wasn't like this was our 10th trip. This was like, we didn't have 5,000 people in our downline then like we have now. We have over 5,000 people in our downline. And if it wasn't for this talk with Alice, maybe we wouldn't be where we are today. And maybe we wouldn't still be with Scentsy. And maybe our businesses wouldn't be the same. And I know for a fact that that conversation with Alice was the most important business training I have had since we joined Scentsy in 2008. Hands down, nothing has been more important. What that has taught me, that conversation with Alice, was that I need to keep doing the work that we were doing every day to try to get to director, regardless of whether we've hit director, we're going to hit star director, we're going to hit superstar director. My job is not to manage people like, oh, now I'm director, now I get to manage the people in my team. You probably have like 5 people. If you're a new director, you probably have like maybe 5 people that like are potentially your future directors. Or maybe you have your superstar director, and maybe you have 4 directors, that you have, and they're kind of like they're new and maybe they're teetering, and you don't manage them. I mean, you help them to not forget Alice's message, which is they just started. Now's the time to work even harder. Like a lot of times what happens is people hit director and then they relax and they feel complacent and they're like, yeah, I hit director. And that's like the worst thing that you could do for your business. Like the worst thing you could do. I mean, like take your moment and like be like, yeah, I hit director, yeah, I hit star director, yeah, I hit superstar director, but like never stop doing the work that you do to get to director. Like sell your 2,000 every month, get your 1 to 4 recruits in every single month, whatever you did or do to get to the title that you just achieved, keep doing it, and then teach all your future leaders to do the same. Like just because all of a sudden they have 2 people in their team doesn't mean that they need to keep trying to push those people to produce for them. No, they teach the people to do what they want to do with their businesses and help encourage them to build their businesses and give them some philosophies like this chat with Alice. But like you do not sit there and I do not sit here and manage people all day. Like that is not what we do. We sell, we recruit, we work with the handful of people that want my time. We post in our Facebook group. We send out newsletters. We offer one-on-ones and trainings and make videos like this for people in our downline. But that does not take like all of my time. Sean and I spend the majority of our business time creating, like blog posts or doing things that we can do to get new customers and have conversations with our customers about joining and taking new recruits and really helping them build a kind of business or teach them the skills that they need to build a long-term business if that's what they want. But that is not, honestly, I do not manage anyone in our team. I don't call them up. I'm not constantly like, hey, you gonna put in anything this month? And, what are you doing? I don't see any numbers. Like, I don't do that. I only work with the willing. That's it. Now, other people have different philosophies. I'm just telling you mine. And if you're in a rut, I can almost guarantee you it's because you or your leaders in your downline are complacent and are thinking that they need to manage their groups. And you need to check yourself and check them and make sure that you have just all realized that you constantly work like you're trying to reach director. Always, 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 no matter what title you're at, always work like you're trying to reach director. And the moment you stop that and the moment you start just trying to manage people is the moment your business starts sliding. Because we've had our business slide before because we've gotten complacent or because we were just like, we're doing good. Let's just coast for a little bit. And we've done that before too. And I'm aware of it. And that's why it happened. So anyway, hope this helps. And always remember Alice saying that, you're just a baby when you hit director. It is. It's just the starting point. It means that you've just invested enough into yourself and your business to show that like, you got the teeth for it. Maybe maybe you're good at it. Maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you can build something out of it. It's just the starting ground. Don't ever just get complacent and hit director. Director's just your starting off point. Anything before director is just a hobby, in my opinion. So anyway, good luck.